Hey, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with my second try at today's Painkillers Challenge. I tried the video, but for some reason I have no signal, so it cut off in the middle, which means I get take two. How did it go yesterday? Did you write shit down? You know, I'd like to apologize for swearing, but the fact is, if you don't do and try some of these things I'm sharing, they're not going to help. I can 100% guarantee that if you don't try them, they're not going to help. But if you do try them, they will help. So many examples of how writing down has benefited me with my understanding of myself and what works for me and what doesn't work for me, and with my doctors and service care providers. If I show them a little notebook with all of my things written down in it, how I'm feeling, when I'm feeling a certain way, they now have evidence of what things are impacting me, what medications, side effects are impacting me. And it's not just me recalling from the last 3 months or last time I saw them what's happening. It's documented proof of what is going on with me in my body. And that is really, really powerful when you're trying to get your needs met. Anyway, enough about that. If you didn't write things down, write them down today. Start writing them down today. Start keeping track of what is going on with you. You know, if you're your own greatest science experiment, I don't know of a single scientist that doesn't document the journey and write down what they're doing. And you need to do the same thing with you, because guess what? This is your life. Your life is worth living. And if your life is worth living, it's worth documenting. So just write it down. Today, another biggie in terms of our mind is the topic of belief. Believe it or not, belief has an incredible impact on your experience and my experience of chronic pain. Now, I will be the first to admit that when I first got sick in my 20s, I was 21, ended up in the hospital, I did not believe that my beliefs or my thoughts or what was going on in my life had anything to do with my illness. The doctors didn't ever say anything or ask anything about what was going on in my life. They just checked me and tested me and poked and prodded me to try to come up with a diagnosis, and they prescribed a bunch of drugs to mask the symptoms of what I was experiencing. Well, that didn't work out very well for me, and many of you may be able to relate to that. That might be what you're going through right now, and that might not be actually working out very well for you. I get to the point where I found that the side effects of the drugs that they were prescribing to me were actually worse than what I was experiencing with whatever illness or chronic things were going on in my body. I figured out that the severity of my migraines were actually being increased and made way worse because of the medications that they had me on. It was one of the side effects of some of the combination of the cocktail of medications that I had been prescribed. And they were causing me, I mean, I had migraines before because of my eye issues, but they took my migraines to a whole unbearable level. And if I wouldn't have been keeping track of and writing things down, I wouldn't have made that connection. I wouldn't have figured that out. So today, again, about beliefs. I didn't believe that I had any impact over my chronic pain and what was going on with me. Our beliefs. The thing about beliefs is all beliefs are thoughts or ideas that we think a lot and that we decide to adopt as our own. So if I believe I am an awesome tennis player and I decide to adopt that, and a couple people tell me I'm an awesome tennis player, then I'll start to believe I'm a terrific tennis player, and all of a sudden I will become and start to be a much better tennis player. Well, unfortunately, that works both ways. If I believe that my chronic pain is going to last forever, if I believe that my pain is worse than anyone else's, if I believe that I'm never going to get better, if I believe that there's nothing I can do to impact the amount of pain I'm feeling and I'm just going to have to live with it, guess what? My pain is going to stop me. It's going to prevent me from living the life I deserve, and it is going to paralyze me and make my life suck. Guess what? I lived there for several years, and it wasn't a very fun place to live. It was a place I didn't want to live at all. And I know that so many people with chronic pain, we get there. We're there at some point in our chronic pain journey, because I look at my chronic pain and my life experience as a journey. And would I have dealt myself this hand on purpose? No, I don't think so, but I've got it. So I need to figure out how am I best going to deal with it. And my beliefs totally impact that. You know, Henry Ford said, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So true. You know, Yoda even said, there is no try, there's just do. You know, so there's something to this belief and our thinking and the impact it has on our ability to create things and to create the life that we want. I have so many examples of this in my life, and I will admit, I'll be the first to admit, I didn't believe any of it. I didn't think it was true. I used to believe so many things that I no longer believe because I've questioned those beliefs. But if I think back over my past journey in my life, I believed so many things differently than I do now. And it wasn't until I asked myself, again, from a couple days ago, who does this belong to? Why do I think that? Why do I think that's true for me? That my health and my ability to handle chronic pain and my ability to handle chronic illness absolutely shifted and changed for me. And I'm 100% confident that that is what will happen to you. You don't have to believe it yet, but I know that it's true, and I want you to know it too. Today's exercise, it's going to be pretty simple. It's simple to do, but it's hard emotionally to do. But I'm trying to make it easy. So all I want you to do is brainstorm the first 5 beliefs that you have or thoughts you have about chronic pain, your chronic pain right now. So just brainstorm a list of the 5 things that pop into your head first when you say, my chronic pain is, or your thoughts about and beliefs about your chronic pain, your situation. So for example, I might think, my hip pain is the worst pain in the whole wide world. Nobody has as bad a hip pain as I do. My doctors said that I'm just going to have to live with it. The experts say there's nothing that they can do for me. I'm just going to have to figure out how to endure this pain for the rest of my life. I can't take it anymore. I can't stand it. I don't know what to do. Whatever those beliefs are for you, write down those top 5 beliefs that pop into your head right now about your chronic pain. Now, I want you to look at those beliefs one at a time and ask, you could go back and ask, who does that belong to? That might lead to some interesting insights. Or you can just ask, is that true for everyone in the whole wide world, or is it just me? So for example, if I say, the experts say there's nothing I can do about my chronic pain, I'm just going to have to live with it. Is that true for everyone in the whole wide world? Is it true that everybody in the whole wide world that has chronic pain just has to live with it and there's absolutely nothing that they can do about it? Or is that just true for you? Well, if I ask myself that question, I know 100% that that's not true, because I'm a living example of a person that the doctors said, hey, we don't know what's wrong with you. We can't figure out anything. The drugs aren't working. You're just going to have to suck it up, buttercup, and live with this pain for the rest of your life. And I've had an incredible life. That was 24 years ago. 24 years ago in 2 weeks, that was. And I said no. And I decided to take back my personal power and start searching for and looking for answers for me. Now, the answers that I found for me might not be the answers that work for you, but only you can find those answers for you. But the first step is you have to believe that it's possible for you. You have to believe that you can do things and that there are alternatives. The other one that comes to mind to me is, I can't remember what it was. It doesn't matter. But do this with each of the beliefs, and then I would like to take it a step further and say, can you turn that disempowering false belief, because every belief that you come up with that you say about chronic pain and I know is false. If you say, nobody knows how I feel, nobody knows how much I hurt, nobody understands, I used to feel that way too, but guess what? There are 1.5 billion people on this planet that experience chronic pain. Of those 1.5 billion people, do you think that there is even one other person that is experiencing a similar pain or the exact same pain or worse pain than you're experiencing? I'm going to say I'm pretty much 100% sure that there is. So if someone else is experiencing, then it isn't true that nobody understands the pain you're going through. Maybe your circle of friends or family or the people that you're around don't understand the exact way you're feeling about your pain, but not nobody. There are people that understand. So that's your assignment for today. 5 beliefs about your chronic pain that pop into your head. Is this true for everybody in the whole wide world, or is it just true for me? And if it's just true for me, is it really true, or is it just a belief I've decided to adopt for me? Now, I guess I want to ask you before I stop, because you know I like to talk. If it's a belief that you've adopted for you, is that belief serving you, or is it not serving you? Is it in your best interest, or is it not in your best interest? For example, if I decide that there's nothing I can do about my chronic pain, absolutely nothing, I've tried everything, nothing's ever going to work for me, I can't do anything. If that's my belief, and I've decided that's my belief, is that helping me to feel better and alleviate my chronic pain, or is that going to make me feel worse? Got to answer that question for yourself. I know for me personally it would make me feel worse, but maybe it makes you feel better. I mean, we're all different. Maybe looking at some people actually like to look at the negative because they think it motivates them positively. And for some people, I'm sure it does. Me, I can't look at the negative and think that it's going to motivate me positively. So I like to turn all of these beliefs that I currently have, if I decide that they're not empowering me, I like to turn them into something that does empower me. So that's it for today. Just pay attention to your beliefs and your thoughts and what you're thinking and feeling about your chronic pain, about your illness, about your injury, whatever it is for you. What thoughts and beliefs pop up? I was talking to my daughter about this morning, and she has a back injury that she sustained when she was younger snowboarding, and it's giving her a lot of pain. And she's talking about the pain and how bad it is and why it's gotten worse over the last 10 years. And I'm like, stop. Is that what you want? Do you want your back and your pain to be horrible and unbearable and keep being that way? And she still kept trying to tell me her story. And I'm like, stop. What do you want? You got to focus on what you want, because your beliefs of what's possible for you are what create what's possible for you. So go out, make it an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow with day 18. Who knows what that's going to be? I haven't looked ahead yet to see, but it will be awesome. Have an awesome day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.